Do you guys ever get something, maybe somebody gives it to you and you're like, I guess I'll try it out, it should be fine. And then once you get it, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, how did I ever live my life without that? Well, today I've kind of got one of those things, and it's a BeatBuddy 2. So the nice people at Singular Sound sent me one of these to kind of test out. They're just releasing it. And what it is basically like a live drum pedal. Like, is it a drum machine? Yeah, but at the same time, you can control those drum tracks with the pedals. We'll get into it and look at it, and I'll do a demo in a few about it. But like, man, talk about a cool little piece of kit. So when they sent it to me, I was like, I'll check it out. I've tried to use drum machines and drum stuff in the past, and sometimes I like it. Sometimes I don't. I'll get bogged down. I'm having to make my own beats. And sometimes I'm like, geez, man, I wish I just had a good country shuffle. I don't need anything fancy. Just give me a shuffle. Well, this pedal does it for me. It's really helped me get a little more of my timing. Honestly, it's helped me think about drums when songwriting also. Like, it's been ridiculously eye-opening and fun to play with. I was a little intimidated by it. I thought, am I going to be able to use this thing? But it was easy to use. Like, I really like it. And so for the right person, like if you're kind of wanting a drum machine, but you don't want to use a drum machine, you like pedals and you like being able to change up the beat as you go, this thing might be the thing for you. Like I said, the good folks at Singular Sound sent me this for free to test. And so I'm telling you what I think about it today. I'm gonna be honest, if it was something I didn't like, you never would have even known I got one of these. So I actually do like it. And now as part of that, Singular Sound has given me an affiliate link and a code that you can use to get 10% off of basically anything on their website. So I'm gonna link that below. I'm also putting it here so you can see it. And yeah, you'll get 10% off. I'll get a little bit of money to go buy more stupid electronics and gear, and we both win, right? So go check it out, and yeah, let me know what you think about it. Oh, one more thing. So Singular Sound also offers this crazy 2-4-6 button switch. And so with that and this, you can do different things like program the fills and the starts and stops. You can program all these things in and connect it. And so there's even more flexibility if you grab one of these foot switches to go with it. So yeah, I mean, let's get in here and take a look at it, but it's a pretty neat tool for just learning and writing and playing live. I think some people are gonna be able to do some like really mind-blowing cool things with it. So yeah, let's go look at the controls of it, then I'll play a song and then we'll come back. All right, y'all, let's check this thing out. So it's pretty straightforward. We'll just start at the side. So the nice thing is it's stereo. So you can do stereo if you want. And then it's got these multi-switches. This the 6 switch that I showed you earlier. So you can add all kinds of functionality if you wanted to this thing. It can be almost overwhelming, but you know, I've just started using it. The 6 button switch is pretty neat. On the back, you've got your power, where your goes in, your power button, which is really nice. And then this is the SD card that you can swap out on the website that has like all kinds of different stuff. They've got different songs. They've got, what else have they got? They've got different drum tracks, all kinds of extra preloaded things that you can get on an SD card, which is great. MIDI in and out, so if you want to sync some things, and then output's the same. You've got your stereo outs, and then you've got your headphone jack, which if you've just got regular headphones, you'll want one of these little guys to plug in there. But anyway, I digress. On the top's pretty straightforward. Volume. Now the volume is a clicky button, also as a knob, and so it'll switch between, if you can kind of see in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, it'll switch between headphone volume and output of these guys' volume. Now, the volume on this thing only affects the actual drums. It won't affect any kind of signal that you put through here. So if you're putting guitar, keyboards, whatever through here, that volume will stay consistent the whole way. Whereas if you turn this, it'll change the volume of the drums so you can kind of, you know, mix it, which is nice, especially in a live setting. Tempo, pretty straightforward. You spin the dial and the tempo works. It'll also go backwards, it looks like, and take you into the screen, so that's good to know. There's also tap tempo here on this little button, so you can hit it. do whatever you want for a tap tempo. Some of you guys like that. Drum sets. Now this thing's really cool. So there's lots of drums. You're not just stuck with whatever the standard drums are for your preset. You can change them. So like in this case, you got dance, jazz, Latin, all this stuff. And then as I was saying, the drum sounds are actually really good in this. So we're gonna go with the standard custom HD, and we're just gonna do a straight up blues. I mean, what I really want you guys to do is kind of hear how this sounds. So we'll do that in a second, but let's finish talking about the different buttons. And then so you have this trackpad, which if you remember the old iPods or most things, it's pretty simple. You can do back for back. This side will kind of do forward to go into the menus. And then you go up and down, right? So yeah, this thing's got a ton of sounds in it. I thought I would be overwhelmed with it, but it's pretty easy to use. So, you know, if you look at the thing, there's ballad, blues, Brazilian, brushes, country. You know I'm hanging out there quite a bit. Drums and bass, funk, hip hop. Like there's some dance beats in there. There's metal, some oldies sounds in there. There's just a lot of stuff in there. And especially for somebody like me who plays kind of some straightforward beats, but you got to be able to change the fills and stretch some things out. That's what I really like about this, is you can kind of hold down the buttons and edit your drums on the live kind of in real time, which is really cool. So we'll get into that. But you know what? Let's do this. Let's just do a good old train shuffle beat. And then you have your tempo and all that. So this is just a 2-button version. And the way it's set up right now is, actually, you know what? First, let's plug this guy in. So there we go. So we'll be able to hear it. So talking about the buttons, you've got kind of this button over here is just pause and start, no big deal. But this is the key button that I think is really neat about this, and it's kind of what you would use in the live situation. So you hit it once to do the intro. Yeah. And like I said, let's change the drums just for the heck of it to... Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Nice snare sound. So yeah, you can change it to like a standard HD. I think there's brushes if you wanted to do that. Yeah, if you wanted to do something like that. So yeah, what's really cool is you can kind of change these drum sounds. You're not stuck to just one. All right, let's get this to this one here. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, so you hit this button to start it. It'll do a little intro, fill, and then it goes into your great, good old standard country, you know, train shuffle. Not bad, right? But the nice thing is if you tap this button, is you'll get a fill, right? So you can kind of do these things, and depending on where you hit it, it will fill out the measure. So it'll never miss the timing. Even if you miss it, it'll still kind of catch you up, which I think is really cool. Now, you notice this is part 1 of 2. So if I hold it down, and it'll transfer to a slightly different beat. So you can kind of do, you know, verse, chorus, some other different fills, and then hold it down again, transitions you back to the beginning. And then all you got to do is hit it twice, you get the outro. Now, the nice thing about the multi-switches, if you decided to do those, is you could maybe put outro on just one button, so you just have to hit it once. You can also program these 2 buttons to do different things. There's also, like, I think there's like a cymbal crash and some other things like that you can do. Oh yeah, and one last thing I forgot to mention is they have this thing called autopilot, where you can basically get full like programmed drum tracks to songs you like My Generation by The Who, or 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins, like all these different things, which is another really cool thing. And I think you find those also on their website. So if you want to just get the drum tracks that you can kind of control for a song and kind of just work those out, you can also do that, which is very cool. So I tell you what, I'm gonna play around with it some. We'll play some guitar through it, and I'll just let you hear some kind of just standard stuff. We'll do some oldies, kind of surf stuff. We'll do, yeah, let's just get in there and see. I'll kind of bounce around. What do you say? All right. Hey guys, this is my quick little, don't forget to like, subscribe, blah, 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 and I really appreciate it. Okay, back to the demo. All right, so there you go. You see what I mean? Like, you can like hold down the buttons and stretch things out and kind of jam with yourself. Like it's really powerful. Now, I will say their website has a ton of stuff on it. They've got like extra, you know, SD cards with different drum beats on it, different songs like we were looking at. You can get these songs if you just want to play through something. I think you can go on there and program your own beats. You can just do, dang man, this thing does a lot of stuff. I've been using it to work on some technique things where like I'll get a shuffle going, try to do a chicken picking lick, get good at it, turn it up a little bit more, keep doing the lick to try to gain some speed. Like I've had metronomes forever, and like a metronome just doesn't make me feel like playing. I'm gonna be honest, metronomes, I'm not as big a fan, but like a drum sound like this where I can feel like I'm pushing it and pulling against it, love it. And honestly, I'm really liking the being able to hit it and do a fill. So yeah, it's helped me with my songwriting and thinking about my arranging. It's helped me, you know, figure out what I really like and what I don't. And honestly, the drums just sound good on it. I just think it's a really cool piece of kit. So if you are in the market for something like this, or you've tried drum machines and you don't like them, I'm gonna say, I think I recommend it. Does it get a recommendation? Yes, it gets a recommendation for me. So yeah, check them out, see what you think. And also don't forget to use the link or the code below, because you need to save some of that sweet, sweet dough, baby. And you know, 10% off, that's a good chunk of change in this economy, right? So don't forget. All right, cool. Thanks again, everybody. Like always, thank you for liking, subscribing. That was a really left field pedal that I really, really enjoyed, and I thought I would share it with you guys. We're gonna keep doing some lessons. I got some more of that coming along, more gear, and I don't know, I'm trying to think of some other things we can do, just kind of talking about being a musician and music and where it fits in your life in general. So yeah, I don't know, I'm bouncing around some stuff. Anyway, that's a long, long way to say thanks again. Like and subscribe if you haven't, all those things, and have a good day, all right? Take care of yourself. Oh, and go get a snack, all right? You're hungry, I can tell. We're all hungry. Let's go. Later.